All right, we are live on YouTube. I just need for this video to connect over here on my other screen, on my other monitor, so that I can grab that link and put it in our group so that our community can easily and conveniently click on it to join us in the YouTube live chat. So let's put that over there. All right, it is over there and we can get started. Let me see, make sure I can see the chat, which seems to be super elongated this morning. All right, I can see the chat. I can see the chat. Now, speaking of groups, if you, yes, you are a solopreneur or entrepreneur that is struggling to get to your first 6 figures in business, you should be in our group. It is free. We have 3 pillars of value. Number 1, we actually come together and commune. We build community. Number 2, we collaborate. We make each other's businesses better and we make money together. Number 3, we have conversations that are transformational for your business growth, which is exactly what you need to grow your business to your first 6 figures. So the morning show is almost like a mastermind meeting. We have topics of discussion and then we have a hot seat of coaching for any obstacles on that subject. So this group is where you need to be. It's free. ShayCannon.info/group. Get in the group. All right. Now, let's get started. Good morning. Welcome to Unlock Your First 6 Figures Morning Show. I am your host, Shay Cannon. Everything that we do around here on this morning show as a part of this free mastermind has to do with a blog. So this week's blog is at, wrong thing. Let's go over here and get it. It's at shaycannon.com/community. Okay, shaycannon.com/community. Let me throw that over there on the YouTube side because what we're talking about this week is creating raving fans to create a community for your small business. Now, why is community even important? It's because most of you are out here frustrated trying to sell to people you don't know and that don't know you. And those are not the people that are primed to buy from you. People that are primed to buy from you and ready to buy from you are people that already like, know, and trust you. And guess what those people are? Your community, okay? So as you start to build more people that like, know, and trust you and build community, you need a place for them to be, okay? But the hardest thing is, how do we build community? How do we get more of these people that like, know, and trust us? How do we get them in one place, okay? Well, there are some examples out there, some blueprints you can follow. Yesterday, we talked about cults. Yes, don't let that Alabama get in the way of it. I said cults, C-U-L-T-S. Now, cults use their recruitment of community for evil. You don't have to, but you can use the same strategies and just use them for good because they are very good at building community. Don't get it twisted, okay? So go to yesterday's replay part 1 to find out what you can learn from cults and turn it into good to help your people and service your people, okay? Today, what we're going to talk about are what online influencers can teach you about community, okay? What we know is it is easier to be an influencer first and then monetize your influence than it is to have a business and then try to be an influencer, okay? So what are the things that influencers are doing to build community? Well, let's find out why they're so effective. They're highly effective at community building because they create authentic, relatable connections with their audience, making followers feel like they are part of what they have going on and that they have a personal relationship, okay? Influencers often share aspects of their lives, values, and their experiences in a way that resonates with their audience, fosters trust and a sense of familiarity. Oh, I got that out for that Alabama, okay? So this openness encourages engagement and builds a loyal following, which becomes a loyal community, okay? Now, influencers, how do they use their community? They use them to meet their goals by turning trust and engagement into actionable outcomes. Okay, so if you follow me and I have an influence on you, that means you're going to take either actions that you see me take or actions that I ask you to take, right? So that's influence, whether it's driving product sales, promoting other brands, or creating awareness for causes. Influencers leverage the loyalty their followers have to support and amplify their goals, okay? So their communities act as brand advocates, helping to spread the influencer's message, participate in campaigns, and encourage with sponsored content, which is what turns that community into a bigger community, all right? So those are influencers. That is how they build community and what they use it for. Now, what are the actual strategies you can get from them? Well, you know I love to give you more. I've given you everything from the blog. So let's go to the show notes, because I have, let me see, how many actionable steps do I have? I have 8 actionable steps that you can use based on what influencers do to build your own community, okay? I need you to listen out for number 1, the one that you know that you can do that will be a game changer for your community building efforts, okay? So that's what I want you to listen for. Number 2, I want you to listen for the one you feel like you would have the most problem with, so we can solve the problem today, all right? Now let's get started. And just so that y'all know, because y'all say I'm unfair when I call your name. In studio, Dr. Toya, you'll be the first one I call on, okay? So let's get started with this. Number 1, influencers use authenticity and transparency, okay? They are known for being authentic and transparent with their audience, showing both the highs and the lows of their lives and their businesses. Okay, so unlike the cults, they're not trying to manipulate perception. They're just showing what's going on. Okay, so what you can do is be open about your business journey, your challenges, your successes. Okay, share some behind the scenes content and allow your audience to see the human side of your business. All right. You ever wonder why your favorite business may show you, what the team looks like that's working on stuff, what it looks like to put a package together and all of that? Because you when you watch all this stuff and you feel a little more invested, you feel like you know more about what's going on that everybody doesn't know, right? So you need to be more authentic and more transparent. Now, let me tell y'all something. It's a fine line and getting on this Al Gore's internet, Beyonce's internet, and telling all your business, okay? It's a fine line. If you always complaining, okay? If you always got the same problem, then you're not an influencer. You're that best friend we hate to see calling, okay? That's who you are. So what we want to hear about things that are happening, but please, God, don't use us as your therapy, okay? Don't do that, okay? So there's a difference in being authentic and transparent, and we know that you need to go lay on the couch. There's a difference, okay? So stay away from the using people as therapy and every other day somebody dying in your family and we got to talk about it with you. We actually don't want that, right? We don't want that. What we want to hear is, what are the things you're going through that you have found a way to get over, right? Show us how you're human in that you went low, but bring us back high. Don't ever take your audience low and leave them low. Okay, so that is the biggest difference. That's the formula. All right. Don't take your audience low and leave them low. You can take them low, but this is a crescendo. There is a flow to this thing. If you take them low, you have the job, you have the responsibility to lead them on a high. All right. That was a lot for number 1. Number 2, make it a 2-way engagement. Okay. Make it a 2-way engagement. Influencers emphasize 2-way communication with their community. They're regularly engaging through comments, direct messages, polls, live streams, okay? This interaction fosters a sense of connection where followers feel heard and valued, right? It's one, let me tell you to look at it like this, right? It's one thing to listen to your favorite artist. Let's just say you're listening to the music on CD or whatever you listen to it on these days. I don't even know. I listen to all my music on YouTube now. I don't know where you listen to your music. But there's a difference between listening to your music there and actually going to a concert. You feel way more connected when you're at the concert. That's why we like to sit up front where we can see the sweat on their brow, right? We feel more connected when there's more of a 2-way engagement. When you're just listening to the music or watching it on YouTube, listening to your CD or whatever you're doing, some of y'all still got albums. Great. However you're listening to it, that's a one way, right? They're giving you the music, you're listening to it, but you don't really feel connected, that way. But when you go to that concert, though, when y'all are both occupying the same space with your live bodies, right? That feels like more of a connection. We need to do that more. So as entrepreneurs, we need to engage with our community regularly, respond to comments, ask for feedback, and create opportunities for real-time interaction. All right. Number 3, inclusivity and exclusivity. Okay, because they are different, but we want both. So influencers often promote inclusivity, okay, where they're including their audience into something, okay? They're encouraging their followers to share and engage. And then they also create a sense of exclusivity. It's not necessarily a us versus them mentality, kind of like the cult, but it is a this is us, you know what I'm saying? And so we got to take care of each other, right? So there are special things that happen just for us, right? So that's the exclusivity. So we're including you. I'm making sure to include you. So that's inclusivity. But then I'm doing things just for you. That's exclusivity. All right. We want both. All right. So in my community, I'm trying to include solopreneurs and entrepreneurs that are struggling to get to their first 6 figures. That's who I am including. Entrepreneurship is hard. And I want you to know you're not by yourself. And I want you to know that just because it hasn't worked yet doesn't mean it's not going to work. Right. But the exclusivity I give are the things that only happen for my community. Right? If you're not, this may be live on YouTube, but if you're not in the community, you can't come in studio, right? That is a exclusive thing for the community. So start thinking of inclusivity and exclusivity. All right. Number 4, value-driven content. Let me tell you how this whole morning show is value-driven content. I don't know how to open my mouth and not give value. So I found a way to make it engaging and give y'all stuff that I know will be valuable. What? Transformational for your business growth. So that's my example. But what influencers do is they attract and retain followers by providing ongoing value, okay? Whether through educational content, entertainment, or inspiration, right? Either way, that's what their influence is providing on an ongoing basis, not one time, okay? Not 4 times a year, ongoing, all the time, okay? So they give more than they take, which builds trust and loyalty over time. So what is your lesson there? You need to continuously provide valuable content that helps your community to grow, learn, sometimes be entertained, right? Y'all know I'm a nutcase, so I'm just naturally entertaining. I don't know how not to be, but it's not my priority to entertain you. I'm just simply have an entertaining personality, right? I sometimes use humor. I have a campaign going on right now for our free clarity clinic, and I'm using funny memes to drive the point home of what happens when you don't have clarity. So you can use humor even if you're not a comedian, right? Go find things that are humorous and share them. All right. But you want to provide valuable content that helps your community grow, learn, and or be entertained. You can share tips, insights, resources. Do you know that some of our favorite places don't even create content? All they do is repurpose content and they become our resource for that topic. Do you understand that that's all the news is, right? That's all some formats are. That's all some influencers that you like. They don't come up with their own original content. All they do is share other people's content that is around the same theme, right? So they become the go-to resource for that kind of information. You can pull that in and become a resource also, all right? Now, number 5, influencer marketing and collaborations. Influencers often grow their communities through collaborations with other influencers or brands, which helps them to cross-pollinate. You know, you get some of my people and I get some of your people. That's cross-pollination of audiences and build a bigger network. We can do that, right? That is one of our core principles of my community is collaboration. So you can collaborate with other entrepreneurs and businesses that align with your values, okay? That align with the transformation that you give, that align with the people that you serve. So partner with others. It can allow you to tap into new audiences and grow your community, all right? Number 6, personal branding. Personal branding. Influencers excel at building personal brands that are relatable and aspirational, okay? They focus on their own personality, their own values and lifestyle, which attracts like-minded people. Why do you think Trump is out here saying, I hate Taylor Swift? Because them Swifties, Taylor Swift is telling them Swifties don't vote for that person, right? I was going to say something else. Don't vote for him, right? And she's telling them why. And Taylor Swift has a lot of influence, right? She's not just a singer, she's an influencer. So your influence can come about being about what is your personal experience on things, what is your personal personality, what are your personal values and your personal lifestyle, right? I have to do a better job of showing my personal freedom, right? So what is the thing that's personal about you? And again, this is not about telling your business, okay? This is about who are you? Okay, what do you believe that you want to spread amongst your community? What is it that you want people to thrive up around that is of like mind? Okay, so building a strong personal brand that reflects your authentic self and core values is what we want to do. Now, let's go to number 7, content diversity and multi-channel presence. Influencers use various content forms across multiple content platforms. So what do I mean? I mean, they're doing video, stories, blogs, they're doing audio, they're doing all of these different formats, and they're doing them across different platforms, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, you know what I'm saying? All the places, right? To meet their audience where they are. Now, y'all know I feel like you should have a main one that you're creating content especially for, but then you can repurpose to other places to where people already there can get some kind of touch and feel of your content. It doesn't mean I want you to be on 11 platforms, and for each of those platforms, I want you to give them what each of them need. That's kind of impossible without a team, a big team at that. Okay, but you can make stuff just for LinkedIn and then also share it to Facebook and Instagram. You can make stuff just for TikTok and also share it to Instagram and Facebook Reels. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. You can be omnipresent, omni-channel, but focus on one and share to others. So don't get overwhelmed. Last but not least, they monetize without pressure. Okay, they monetize without pressure. So influencers are strategic about monetization, offering products and services without hard selling. Okay, they don't create pressure. What they do is they focus on building trust, and then they let the sales happen organically. So if you follow an influencer and you already like them and they start talking about they use this skin cream and you know they got good skin, you just say, okay, what skin cream you using again? I'm going to do that. I'm going to use that, right? When you follow somebody and you hear that they've gotten a success on something you want success on, you want to know how they did it, and you're going to do it like that, right? This is why content is so important. This is why content breaks up the fact that you are actually selling things as a business. Because content is the way that you're getting the like, know, and trust, and then you're presenting opportunities, you're sprinkling in opportunities for them to buy into the transformation, right? So monetizing without pressure. I'm about to go through this list. We're going to start with Dr. Toya in studio. Let's see what YouTube is doing. We got Shawana Mack over there. Good morning, Shawana Mack. So let me go through these 8 again without all the details, all right? Are you ready? Number 1, authenticity and transparency. Number 2, two-way engagement. Number 3, inclusivity and exclusivity. Number 4, value-driven content. Number 5, influencer marketing and collaborations. Number 6, personal branding. Number 7, content diversity and multi-channel presence. Last but not least, number 8, monetizing without pressure. Okay, so Dr. Toya come off the mic and tell me which one of these, you know, if you get to going with it, you know, it's going to be a game changer for your community building.
I think the two-way engagement is something my community really likes when I do, and they participate and react to it well. I just have to get there.
Love it. I love it. Now, is there one of these 8 that you would have a problem with? Let's see if we can solve your problem today.
Two-way engagement.
Okay. So for you, right? For you, it has to fit into your life. And that's why a lot of things aren't getting done, right?
Yes.
So I think that you have to start with, what does the templated version of your life look like, so that you can know where to place things so it doesn't disrupt your life. So Dr. Toya, if you just start with, okay, I'm not doing all the things every day, right? Because I'm not going to work 16 hours a day. I'm not doing all the things every day. But what does your default week look like, and how can you fit these things into the week so that you can be consistent with them? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something that we teach in the membership. But I think that if you can take that much and apply it, that's cool. If it's still not working for you, come back around and talk to us about the membership, right? Because that's what the quarterly CEO productivity membership is about. If y'all know y'all need that, go to shakehannon.com/membership. But Dr. Toya, try that first, and let's see where we are. All right, let's go to Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, which of these 8 strategies for community building from influencers do you know will help you to build your community well?
They're all useful. They're picking one is difficult. They're all really useful, but in terms of what I would like to do, I guess, monetize without pressure.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, Dr. Tachi, you are, I think amongst all of us, you are in the unique position that you were an influencer first, and then you're now coming in to monetize your influence. So that part will probably be the easiest for you versus the rest of us, right? Because the rest of us started a business and then tried to get known so that we can monetize being known. So you've been doing content for I don't know how long without asking for anything. So your content is there. You just need to start asking, Dr. Tachi. You need to start showing more of what leads to what you have to offer, right? You are already the poster child for your network because you already do a lot of content, right? So now when you're just giving content, you need to start asking. You need to do a call to action. Hey, if you like making content like I like making content, give them that link to where they can sign up to be a creator on the network. So you already have the content in place. You just have to start doing the calls to actions, Dr. Tachi. You are actually in a unique position.
Thank you.
You are welcome. You are welcome. Let's see, Dr. LaFera, which of the influencer strategies, which of the 8 do you know will be the biggest game changer for your community building? See if we can get Dr. LaFera off the mic.
You got me off the mic.
Thank you.
So I also feel like Dr. Toya, maybe the two-way engagement. I mean, I like all of them, monetize without pressure and all of that, but two-way engagement, because I'm not a traditional doctor. So like, the way that I come at people has to be different. And so I'm working on my strategy for that.
Well, I'll tell you, the way you come at them is different than two-way engagement, right? So when you say the way that you come out at them, you might be talking about diversifying your content, which is another one of the strategies. But if you're talking specifically about two-way engagement, you do a great job of giving opportunities for people to talk to you. You just need to make it two-way, right? So you need to talk back, and you need to talk back publicly. You know what I'm saying? So one thing I always hear you say is somebody's in my inbox, somebody in my inbox, somebody told me what you need to push them out of your inbox and put them on your content. One thing a lot of y'all know about me is the minute you come in my inbox talking about business, I tell you to bring it to the morning show. Right? Because it needs to be a part of the content. That makes it a win-win for both of us. If it's just in my inbox and I'm just helping you, then I'm just helping you for free. And I'm not about that. I'm on here. Make it a win-win for both of us. I want to help you, but I also wanted to help somebody else. So some of that, ask the doctor, ask me anything, all of those types of stuff. You don't have to make it a separate segment. You can make it at the end of the segment. Ask in the comments, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So right now, I'm doing Dr. Joffrey's TikTok stuff, right? We're working with Justin Phillips, who is an influencer for e-com brands. He's coaching us. One of the things that we're doing is all of his content, or most of his content, is like it's answering a question, right? So he's answering a question, but in the caption of every one of these, it says, if you have a question, put it in the comments and we'll answer. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I've seen
we're inspiring that two-way engagement. So it doesn't look like there's this secret place that people are getting to ask a question and only them are getting answers. No, this is open to everybody.
Yeah, and stay out of my DM.
Go in the comments.
Stay out of my DMs. Tell me about your problem. Yeah.
Well, just tell them, hey, I'm about to go live. This will be great for when I'm about to go live, so and so, right? Yeah. Okay. So do that.
Thank you.
All right, cool beans. Cheryl, which of the influencer strategies, the 8 we gave today, do you know will be the biggest game changer for your community building?
Getting back on the platforms with the value, the value content. I need to bring back my Facebook groups, and I'm getting ready to go back on Clubhouse. And do the speaking thing. You know, those are my strongest things. And I just had to basically deal with capacity, because 99% of my business is referral. So, you know, it's like I can't or won't work 24 hours a day. So it was fixing a schedule that will accommodate it and be consistent. You know, I don't want to start and then, you know, where's she been? It's been 6 weeks. Oh, here I am. So that's what it is for me.
Love it. Love it. All right. And which of the 8 strategies do you think will be the biggest obstacle for you, so we can try to solve it right here today?
I don't really see it being an obstacle.
Okay.
Anything being an obstacle at this point. Mainly because over the years, you know, I've done a lot of this to see what works for me, what doesn't, because if I can't embrace it as something that I really enjoy, I just drop it off the list. But if I do find something, I'll bring it to you all's attention and ask for help.
We love that. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to Shawana Kennedy. Now, Shawana, you over here saying, we don't know what that meant. Tell us what that meant. Tell us which of the influencer strategies shared today do you know will be the biggest game changer in your community building?
Okay, the was everything that you were saying to Dr. Tachi. I was over here and myself to death. So that's exactly what that was.
All right.
I feel the same way, and I pick what she picked, the monetizing without pressure. For example, how they really easily do, that's why TikTok is as famous as it is, because they do that. The influencers over there, or the people who wasn't even an influencer, without that low pressure selling, that's how some of those people are making tens of thousands.
Yes.
And the cool thing, I recently, in the last week, had the opportunity, because of online networking, you know, I believe in virtually chatting with people. And of course, one of the first questions that I asked was not only how did they find me, because she was liking some of my content, I said, you are the perfect person for me to ask, when you look at my content, what is it that you believe I do? Because I know sometimes it can be tricky, and you know, I've had to deal with that a little bit to see if people really understand what is it that I do. Yes. And she actually said what it is that I do, because the same thing I tell people with being seen, being heard, and creating visibility and being paid in your business is people will search you out before they ever have a conversation or buy from you. So for me, monetizing with ease, with less pressure. So for me, I know I need to just continue to do more of that value-driven content that show what I do, so the people will, without a shadow of a doubt, know that is the primary forward-facing thing that I offer. Unless you got
And I
something
think
else
that
you
that's a
want to suggest.
testament, Shawana, to your narrowing the scope of your content and stop trying to be so multi-passionate, right? That is a testament to your work and narrowing that scope, right? Because if you had asked that question a year ago, then people wouldn't have known what to say. Gospel singer, I don't know, a cheerleader for people to put themselves first. You know what I'm saying? They could have had multiple, anybody you pick could have had a different answer. The fact that they can now narrow it down to the fact of what you're actually selling to make money off of, that's a testament to the work that you've done. So congratulations, number one. Number two, you are great at putting content out. What you're missing, quite like Dr. Tachi, is the call to action, right? And it's a soft call to action. Again, Coach Justin Justin Phillips, and he's a young man, y'all. He's an e-com influencer. We meet with him on Monday. So we just met with him yesterday. So one of the things he did was streamline the call to action for Dr. Joffrey when he goes on to TikTok. So it's a very quick, almost like an afterthought, right? So what it is Dr. Joffrey is to give a title, right? He is to give the content, and at the end, he's to say, and if you, want the best supplements, or if you want the best vitamin D, click the orange shop button icon and get them, right? It's almost like an afterthought. Now, everything said leads to it, but it's not talked about all the way through. So it's kind of like when we're talking about time management and something that's coming up that's time management, prioritizing tasks, I'll tell you, that's what we do in the membership. Go to shaycannon.com/membership and I'm done, right? So all the content before that led to that. So I don't have to do a whole commercial. You know what I'm saying? We just give you that. So I would say work on concise calls to action to go along with the content you already have, Shawana, and then just make sure that they know how to get it, but it almost seems like an afterthought, right? It's not a pushy, now I'm going to go 30 minutes into selling, right? So do it that way. So, and congratulations on people knowing what you do, because that's a point of clarity that a lot of people do not have. Let me tell you. All right. Debbie, which of the influencer strategies, I gave you 8, do you know will be the biggest game changer for your community building?
Well, I like what Shawana and Dr. Tachi said. So those were good. I would say the platforms, I need to do more work on LinkedIn. I think I haven't spent enough time cultivating that audience. And I think that's where my community is going to be.
I think so too, because your ideal client are bigger spaces, bigger organizations, bigger businesses, institutions, and people who have the budget for production, right? And those are going to be the people on LinkedIn. So what you can do is focus your content for LinkedIn and what LinkedIn requires of you, and then take that content and repurpose it to other channels, right? But you focus on LinkedIn and you give LinkedIn video. Most of your stuff, like Shawana, like Dr. Tachi, has to be video. When you're selling video, most of your content has to be video, right? And you need to take the time once a month to do a highly produced piece of video as content. Because see, your people are not iPhone video portrait style people. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to have to do landscape, highly produced pieces to show them what you're capable of. Now, it don't have to be all the time for your everyday content, but if you produce like one a month and break it up to go across the month, that should be great. But I would put on your production calendar to do a well-produced, highly produced video for that subset for LinkedIn at least once a month. Have somewhere where they can view the full one, right? And then break it up to continue to distribute it all throughout the month. And then do a new one for the new month. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool beans. Shawana, was you going to add something to that?
Yeah, I was gonna say also one of the things that I do notice, and every now and then I do it, is answering those questions, Debbie, to make sure you show up as an expert. Answer the questions, you know how they periodically ask production type questions, and then finding the people who you know you without, of course, sounding like a smarty pants, give an occasional thought or suggestion on somebody's content. I mean, their whatever they're posting, and then you'll start to show up in other people's thread as an expert, and that'll make them start to lean and look more into you. But asking those questions is a great way for even LinkedIn to recognize you. So
Oh,
that's
the
just another
LinkedIn
suggestion.
questions. Oh, the LinkedIn questions when they ask. Okay.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
gets a lot of attention, even if it's not by the people initially.
Mhm.
Trust me, LinkedIn is watching. I know of several LinkedIn influencers, and that is how they're known, because they're recognized as experts by answering those questions. So just a thought for you.
Oh, thank
I
you.
love that.
Mhm.
I love that. And so for you, Debbie, you just go into those marketing groups and search marketing, video marketing, and just go in there and answer questions. I love that, Shawana. That was gold, GOLD. Because LinkedIn has forums. They have groups. Go in there in those comments. So I love that, Shawana. That was awesome. Dr. Tachi, you got jokes about Kim. Kim, Dr. Tachi wants to know, have you started a dog transportation service? Hilarious.
I just hurt my side. I just
I
hurt
just
my
said craziness. Kim, we don't know if you can come off the mic. If you can, then you can answer the question. Nope. Okay, stay safe, baby, because them dogs are already moving around. That's what Dr. Tasha said what she said. Shawana Mack, you over here on the YouTube side. You can answer the question. We've already put that in the YouTube chat. So if you want to answer the question over there and tell us what you feel like your obstacle is, we can answer that. Anybody else got additional questions? I can give you time while I go to these announcements. Okay, the first announcement is always, do you want to get the morning show in your inbox? You can go to shaycannon.com/show. What you're going to get is a reminder in the morning to hop on the YouTube live. And in the afternoon, you're going to get an email with 2 links, one to my show notes where I always give you more, and one to a replay of the actual episode. So go to shaycannon.com/show, sign up for that. Tomorrow night is Wednesday night. We're having our free Clarity Clinic event. Okay, it's free. There is a success kit that you can buy that I encourage you to buy, because it's going to be filled with all the tools that's going to bring ease to your execution of the clarity taught in the Clarity Clinic. All right. So go to shaycannon.com/biz clarity, BIZCLARITY. Okay. Now, Thursday night, we have fuck up night coming. What is that? Bring your drinks, bring your business obstacles. This is the only session where you can tell me what you're having a problem with and get some coaching. The morning show is a hot seat. You get help, but it's all around what we're already talking about. But what about the other things you're having an obstacle in your business? Bring them to fuck up night. We're going to talk about what's been fucking up and we're going to fix it. Okay. This is the first week that it is going to be open to the free community. The paid community, our paid membership has one every month, and they're going to get the first 30 minutes to themselves, and then the free community can come in on the last 30 minutes. So you have to be in the community, in the group, shaycannon.info/group. All right. And with that, Dr. LaFera has a question. We love it. Dr. LaFera, what is your question?
My question is kind of around something Shawana was saying, and we kind of talked about this before, like in different things. But for me, being a thought leader, in these different rooms, so I don't want to come in the rooms and tell people about the medicines and stuff like that they should be taking, because that's not what I'm going to lead them to, and that's not what the content that I'm going to be putting out is coming to. So like, your feedback on so when I go into these rooms and I give value on how to live freely and freely and fabulously over 40, and helping them to see the value of food as medicine and how to overcome the things that are keeping them from being that healthiest version of themselves. Is that more of the stuff that I should be doing? Because I don't want to be that person that's coming up in there talking about well, this is the medicine. I could do that. sometimes. But I mean, I don't prescribe medicine. I diagnose disease, and I don't want to get it.
So at the end of the day, medicine is not even a part of what your values and stuff are. Your value is that food is your pharmacy. So you can add that in there. And you come in telling them that if they use the food, they don't need the medicine. If they use the food, they won't have, so many problems with the illness.
Yeah.
So when you walk in, this is why I'm telling you, when you walk in, you got to walk. First of all, you got to know what room you're walking in so that you can speak to them and what they need from you. This is why you can't use an elevator pitch that got that AI shit in there, because they don't even know what that is and how that helps them. You see what I'm saying? There's only so much triple board certified we can say, because we want to get to the point of how we can help them.
Yeah.
So you only got so much time, and that so much time can't be filled with AI and all your credentials and not filled with what's in it for them. I love the freely and fabulously over 40. And then you can add because food is your pharmacy and just go into whatever, right? You can treat it almost like if you're going on the mic with TSP.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm thinking about. Because like I want to do more long form content where I zoom in on all this. So like every day, like you come to me for like, little pieces of information about that, or like somebody famous who's like, doing the same thing, and I break it down. So I want to be that person. And so,
love it. Yeah. So you just got to know what room you're in and how to introduce yourself for that room so that it's a what's in it for them.
Yeah.
Not just a who I am because I'm smart. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheryl, did you want to add something?
Yes. Never take somebody's mind. Hey there. Never take somebody's mind where you don't want it to go. You talk about what your focus is, and that becomes their focus. If it's not for them, then they'll take what they can and leave the rest, or they'll leave the rest. But you're going to hit your target audience in that room. So when Shay says, know what room you're in, check out these people. Are they in your target audience? That's where your best success is going to be.
And I would love to hear you talk more about medicine versus food, right? Because what is medicine costing them versus how much the food would cost them? Medicine prices are high, but also medicine price on your body is high, right? Because all them side effects, you choosing between being this kind of ill and that kind of ill, right? Where food can fix it and you just gonna be well. You know what I'm saying? So talk more about that, especially in those spaces, because that's going to bring them in. Shawana said that's a whole segment. Okay, get with it. But yes, I love it. That definitely could be a whole segment. What you got, Kimberly?
I was finally getting a chance to come off the mic. I didn't want to come off while I had, because I was just pulling up.
We didn't want you to. You want me to rephrase the question for you, or you got it?
Please, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so which of the influencer strategies that we talked about today do you know will be the biggest game changer for your community building?
I think more engagement. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I think more engagement and more value-added content. But really, basically, more engagement too, because I know I don't do enough of that.
Yeah.
And, I don't do enough of that at all. And I can't remember the rest of the age that you gave us. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. You told me the one that will be the game changer. Was there one that you felt like you would have the most obstacle with, or is that the one you feel like you'll have the most obstacle with?
I think just more engaging content. I think that's an obstacle for me, because I just don't do it. Like, I just need to do it. If that makes sense. I don't know how else to phrase it.
Yeah, you might need a consult session with Shawana, because some of that for you is going to be that confidence piece, right? Because there are plenty of examples out there as a blueprint. So it's not like you need to know what to do, because there's plenty of examples out there. You just need to do it. So that's a confidence piece. So you might need a consult from Shawana about that confidence, so that you can go ahead and get it done. Because I've even sent you stuff in your inbox and was like, look at this. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a blueprint out there for you, but if you lack the confidence to do it, a blueprint is not going to help. Knowing what content to do is not going to help, because you're still going to stop yourself from doing it. So get with Shawana. to see if that could be the first path to busting up that lack of confidence. If not, again, therapy is a tool, y'all. When you're in your way, it shows up in a lot of ways in your business and in your personal life. It's worth it to go and get the tools to bust that stuff up. And that's what therapy is. Therapy is not a bad thing. It is a tool. And if you need that tool and you don't have it in your toolbox, shame on you. Okay, because if you know how to go and make yourself better so that something is not stopping you, why wouldn't you want to be unstoppable? Right? So start with Shawana, Kimberly. But if you know that therapy is something that you need to go, and this is for everybody, then you get your ass in therapy. Everybody. Okay. So if there's something about you stopping you, okay, and let me tell you how you know that you in your own way. You know what to do. You got the tools to do it. You even got the time to do it. But something happens when you go to do it and something in you doesn't allow you to do it. Hey, something about you is stopping you. And I want you to go get tools to be unstoppable. Okay. And we're going to leave that right there. Now, before we get out of here, Shawana Mack over here on the YouTube side said all of them were helpful, but the two-way engagement is the one that she wants to use to be to grow her big game changing to grow her community. Her obstacle: get on TikTok, LinkedIn, and video development and consistency. Have a lot of travel content, just needed to be organized. So Shawana, you need to have Shawana Mack, you need to have a conversation with Shawana Kennedy so she can look through all of your content and create something for you. And guess what? That's probably not free, boo. So you need a content person with that creative eye, because she can even take the pictures that you have and create the videos you need for TikTok out of the pictures. But you need somebody to go through your content, use their creative eye, okay, which is an expertise, and put that stuff together to then do your content. So you need to talk to Shawana Kennedy Media. All right. All right, guys, this was great. So tomorrow, what we're going to talk about is one of my coaches, okay? One of my coaches, Lamar Tyler of the group TSP. Y'all hear us talk about TSP all the time on traffic, sales, and profit. A lot of the people I know them from that community. He is one of the first business coaches that helped me to understand what this digital marketing piece was. I have paid, we're going to say, over $80,000 into learning from him. And he is exceptional at community building. So we're going to talk about what I learned from him on tomorrow. I have it as what one of my business coaches can teach you about community. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3,